Astral from the Fifth Wall. I'm here tonight with Kay Bly from the Fifth Wall, also Desiree from Temper Drinks. So tonight our topic is going to be horror books. But before we go into that, Desiree, I'm ready to hear about those exciting ingredients for our drink tonight.
So, our drink tonight is the Pennywise in honor of that horrible clown from the Stephen King book, which is just a movie also. The drink includes number one, bubblegum vodka. This is something I gotta show you guys how to make, and I'll tell you in just a minute. Number two, raspberry liqueur. This is a razzmatazz, the Kuiper. You can get it at the liquor store in several different brands. Or raspberry schnapps, same thing. You will need some cotton candy. You can find this at the grocery store on the candy aisle.
Publix.
Year round.
At Publix.
Publix got it. And then also you're gonna need some grape juice. This is just regular old Welch's 100% grape juice. Oh, and a shaker. We got to shake this one up, so we need a little shaker.
Shake it all on up. So that's basically like a circus in a glass. Is what we're gonna get into tonight. So, a quick summary over the type of horror books that we're going to go over. We're going to go over our favorite childhood horror book, all-time favorite horror. Also, we're going to discuss horror books that have converted into film. And as well, we're going to have a secret surprise to let you know about Fifth Wall and some things we have going on and some upcoming events that we have going on. So before we get into our podcast for tonight, let's go ahead and get into that lovely drink like a circus in a glass. I'm excited.
Come on with it.
All right, guys. So this is out of the norm, but I couldn't wait, so I poured this one up for y'all. But I'm still tell you how to make it. So here we go. We're gonna start with this bubblegum vodka. What you need to do for this is get your favorite vodka, Smirnoff, whoever you like. Take about a cup of that, and you're gonna need some old school double bubble, bazooka, whatever you can find. Open up a couple pieces of this. Drop them in a sealable container with your vodka. I used this little potion bottle I had. Mason jars just as good. And let that sit at least 24 hours. The longer you let it sit, the more bubblegum flavor you're going to get, which is going to make this drink sweeter. It is a sweet drink already. So for those of you who don't like the taste of alcohol, here you go. So what we start with is a martini glass. Y'all see I got mine already full over here. Sorry. And your cotton candy. So the recipe calls for about a cup of cotton candy. I don't know who measuring a cup of cotton candy. But what I will say is the more cotton candy you use, the sweeter this drink will be. So based on how sweet your bubblegum vodka is, that might determine how much cotton candy you want to use. Definitely taste that vodka first, because that bubblegum gets strong. So you put your cotton candy in your martini glass, and then you're going to grab your shaker. Shaker need a little ice in it. I got a little ice. Start with a little ice, and you're going to need about 2 ounces of this bubblegum vodka. I just used my jigger, measure that out for you.
What did you say?
My jigger. Jigger.
I like that.
R-I-G-G-E-R. And you also need 2 ounces of that raspberry liqueur. And you're going to need the grape juice. I'm out of grape juice, y'all. That's okay. You want to do about 4 ounces of grape juice in here. Once you got your grape juice and all your ingredients, you want to shake it till you get a nice froth on your shaker. And then your glass should have your cotton candy in there. You want to just pour it over the top of your cotton candy. As you pour, it will melt. And it's going to taste good. So, ladies, what y'all think?
I like it. I'm a fan of cotton candy. I just never had it in a drink. Like, it's yummy.
I stole this offline and made a few tweaks to it, but I'm gonna be honest, it's a little sweet for my taste.
Really? Well, see, I put a little ice in mine. I don't know what the ice did to it, but I threw a little ice in mine.
Did you get a little bubbly in there? You got a little fizz?
You know she loves little fizz.
I thought about it, but I didn't know what would go with this, so I didn't give myself a little fizz this time.
Not today.
I was like,
Oh,
I don't know what's gonna fit in here like it should, so I'm gonna leave it alone.
oh no,
But I knew something was missing.
Look it.
You know what? You know, now that you think about it, I probably could have used grape soda.
That's it. Look at you.
Well, that's what I'll
Look,
do
if
this
you use the
weekend
grape
when I fix
soda,
it again.
don't shake it, just add it in the end.
Okay. See, I should have thought about that ahead of time.
So,
Kimma.
about these books.
Yeah, like I'm so excited to get into it. I'm looking for my Goosebump book, and I started
Okay.
to trip out because I thought I lost it, or actually I thought they stole it because the book that I have is The Revenge of the Condoms. Aren't they so cute? This was like my ultimate favorite growing up.
Really?
Um,
That
yeah,
series
I
or
looked.
that book in particular?
Say what?
That series or the whole or that book in particular is your favorite out of the Goosebumps?
Goosebumps all the way around, but as in my like childhood favorite, this one in particular. But I love Goosebumps. Like
Why that
every
one?
other weekend, I would go to Kmart with my grandma, and she would purchase me a book. They were like $5.
Or
So
the grocery store used to have them.
Yep.
yeah. So ladies, what's one of your childhood favorites?
Childhood favorites. I did, of course, Goosebumps. Um, Another one of my childhood favorites. And I know a lot of you have read this one, and I think that there was about 3 sequels to it. Um, the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Oh
That's the
yeah,
one?
that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's when I knew when I had like weird friends when we all liked this book.
We're not
Why we
because
gotta
weird.
some
be
people
weird?
We're special.
because some people wasn't messing with it. They thought it was too scary for that young of an age, which they kind of were. But it was, I mean, because they're making a movie out of it now. So it was kind of creepy for us. I mean, think about the stories that were like in there, you know? Did y'all remember any of the stories from there? Like I remember the one about the girl that had the ribbon that was around her neck.
Around her neck, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, but it's just I was already exposed to other, outlets with horror, and that to me was exciting, but it wasn't like top notch scary.
I thought that they were really creepy, especially the one that one of my favorite ones that sticks out in my head. Whereas this one girl, they were like, they invited this one girl, they to have like a party in a cemetery, and something happened, and everybody started like running, and she felt something tug at her dress, and she thought somebody from the grave was pulling on her dress, and she had a heart attack, and what actually happened was like a
Like a
branch or a
branch or
tree or
something.
something caught onto
Yeah.
her, and
I
Oh
she
remember that.
snap, Kimmy, you are bringing up so much.
I remember
see.
that. I don't
Yeah.
know, childhood. If I had to go with the Goosebumps series, I'm gonna say Night of the Living Dummy.
Right,
All
Slappy
of
is my
them,
favorite. Slappy.
because I hate ventriloquist dolls. Thanks to Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt scared me. Um. So yeah, that was my favorite Goosebump. But then outside of that, I did spend my youthful years reading stuff I ain't had no business reading.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, y'all remember the Goosebump books that you could pick what happens next in the
Oh, your
story?
own. Now I did
Oh
like those.
yeah.
I did like those.
Yeah.
And I would try to like hold myself back from not going through the endings like, oh, I'm gonna pick this ending or I'm gonna pick that ending. So
Right.
I was had to pace myself and really initially pick one in the beginning and then go back the second way. So it kind of gave me some discipline.
No, let me tell you what I did. I had like 3 bookmarks in one book because if I died on the next page, I would
Got to
just
go
go
back.
back. to
That's
it.
it. That's exactly it.
Look, look at y'all.
ready to die.
But you know what? That's probably why when who was that? It was a show that came out. I can't remember who it
Oh, that
was. And I
Netflix
know
movie?
huh?
Think about the Netflix movie that did the same thing where you choose your own journey through the movie.
Yes. Where
What
you
was it
choose
called?
your own journey. That I think it pulled to our crowd and our generation because of that. Because of, Goosebump books where we could pick our ending or go through and choose those decisions of the character. Like it also made me more interested in the thought process of characters. Like, yeah, when I was growing up, I would pick my favorite one and be like, "Oh, I'm excited to see what's gonna happen." But whenever I started reading those type of books, it made me think deeper about each character and what part they played in the story.
I just want to see who died.
Look at
I was that kid. Like,
I'm
don't
over
let
here
it be a character I don't like. How we gonna kill him?
Did any of you guys read his Fear Street series? R.L.
Not as
Stein's
much
Fear
as the
Street?
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
That was more like the Fear Street was a little more like a notch up above Goosebumps, right?
Mm-hmm. It was like he
Because
wrote those, I think, for like the older kids.
Yeah, the
yeah,
high school age kids.
that was kind of creepy. Now, I mean, he was teaching you some lessons. If you
Mm-hmm.
paid attention, you were learning some valuable lessons in those stories.
I had to go to those because after I pretty much read all the Goosebump books, I'm like, okay, what else
What's
do
left,
I need
R.L.
to
Stein?
What's next?
read? Exactly. What else you got for me to read? And then when you get older, then you're like, okay, well let me read Stephen King then, you know?
Oh yeah,
I think I
I was
got
actually flip flopping between the two.
time.
This is true. When I say stuff I ain't had no business, I'm talking about Stephen King, Dean Koontz. I was in that in elementary
Just
school.
in them.
Thank you, Mama.
Yeah, putting up on the game.
Well,
So
you feel like
like
you were the champ.
there was a couple like with Goosebumps. I could tell they were rushing it. Um, like the one that the kid turned into a dog.
Oh,
Y'all remember that
you
one?
know what?
He made,
Goosebumps
that
had a
was
whole
one of the
series. I
shows
remember the
too.
show. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
I remember that one from the show.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
remember the book. I don't think I read the book, but when the
Oh
show
no,
came out,
I'm talking about from the show. Like
oh yeah,
I don't flip to the show because as a kid I was so excited because I don't read all the books. That
yeah.
when you get to the show, it's like, okay, what is it gonna be like? Oh my gosh, really, really? He was growing fur from the beginning.
I don't know. I used to hit the corner on speed when I heard that beat. Doom 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 doom. They come running to the living room.
Beware, you're in for a scare.
I know how he
Okay.
wrote way more books than he actually had of the show. Like I feel like the
Yes.
show only had like a few seasons, but they didn't like the newer books didn't get into the
Get to the show,
show,
yeah, now.
which
They
I
did.
didn't really, you know.
Like one thing though that kind of I wish I didn't commercialize the movie as much. Like
The
it
movie
was
seemed so kiddie. I didn't even watch it.
it was very kiddie, and it's like
Oh,
it's
well,
not
that
even
must be why
scary.
my daughter likes it.
It's just the fact that you have the characters that we are familiar with in there. But it's like, are you going in depth about who are these characters and why they're part of Goosebumps?
I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
It was kind of whack.
but maybe
Y'all
maybe
gotta do
that's
better
why.
next time.
Well, maybe that's why my child likes it, and she's only 3, and she wants to watch Goosebump movies.
Yes, they got them gum bears in there.
Oh, I get it. And you know what? And that it's really weird that as we get older, we still kept reading horror stuff because
Yeah.
so my new horror favorite is
Look at you.
The Walking Dead, which is also one of my favorite shows, which I didn't know that in the beginning that it was a comic book. I think I found that out like a year later. And then once I did, I was like, okay, let me go back and read the books so that I can be prepared for like the next seasons of the show, which of course they kind of run parallel, but they switched a couple things. Wish I got on my Walking Dead shirt. Just to let y'all know. But the books are really good. They do have that element. They really have what the TV show is bringing. But being that it's a comic book, some of the things in it are a little funny too. Which is like why I like to read it. And then when you're doing comic books, they can be a lot gruesome too. So like their violence scenes are really violent. And some of the things that are comical, I don't think those transfer more on the screen that I wanted it to because, it is a comic book. But when they get to the the real horror and the graphic stuff, some of that they didn't even put on the TV because I think they probably felt like that was too much to show on TV. So, yeah, the Walking Dead comic books are not exactly for children.
What'd you say?
I said the Walking Dead comic books, they're not exactly for children.
Oh
Just like,
no.
yeah, there it's a bit graphic in there, I will say, but I guess that's the horror comic that I lead to. I know there's like a lot out there, especially like about vampires and stuff, but I really do enjoy the Walking Dead comic books. That's just one of them I have. I have like all the compendium books, which I wish I could read more of them. They're like this thick. Um, I think the last one that I read was when they got to like Negan. So, so with this new era of Walking Dead, I don't know what's going on because I have not read my other book yet. But that's my horror read currently.
So, this just came across my mind. It's not really horror, but it was like suspenseful and kind of funny as a kid. I don't know if y'all remember that line of books where it was about the substitute teacher that would it was really the teacher and she would dress up kind of like a witch, but she was a substitute teacher and she would go
Miss
in and be
Nelson?
like,
Was it the teacher
huh?
from the Black Lagoon?
Oh,
What?
I thought it was Miss Nelson or something. Oh,
Like it's a kiddie book. What I mean
It
by
could be
kid, it's
that
not
one.
like a chapter book, but it was a line of books that came out and it was a teacher. Like she would dress up as like a witch or whatever and go in as a substitute teacher
I feel like
just
that
to
might be it. The teacher from the Black Lagoon.
I remember that book.
I might have to look that one up. But I know what you're talking about, though.
I just can't think of the title right now.
And I
Cause I
know the
was
one that Desiree is saying. I'm trying to put this together.
Now Miss Nelson was one that had a witch-looking lady too, but are they related? Like, did Miss Nelson went missing, and then we got the teacher from the Black Lagoon or something like that?
I don't know. That could be it. The teacher
I
from.
think that's
I
because
remember
the
reading
thing is
those books.
the students will find like little clues and stuff,
Uh-huh.
like her dress or shoe, and they be like, "What did she do with the teacher? Where is she at?" Because they still would have the
Yeah, I think
substitute
they run
teacher.
together. Miss Nelson is missing, and the teacher from the Black Lagoon or something like that. I remember that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is.
Because yes, it was a series of books.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think.
that's the one. Yes, and we have all read this. Desiree, have you read
Yo,
Taylor Poe yet? Like we told you to read.
Kelly Poe.
so no, y'all forgive me. I have been in a whirlwind of hot messiness these past couple weeks, so I did not get to read Taylor Poe. But these girls done told me about this Taylor Poe, y'all. If y'all know this book, somebody got it at home, holler at me. Because they talking about this old story their parents used to tell them. I don't remember this story about a Taylor Poe.
Like, matter of fact, Father's Day around the corner. So happy Father's Day. And thank you, Father, for telling me the story. But it was more of an urban twist to it because mine was about a little boy that went to the store and supposed to get liver, but spent the money to go to the arcade and stole the wino's liver. So the wino was like, Charlie, I want my liver back. So that was scary. Like I was so scared to go to sleep after he told me that. And I came back with exact change. Like every time somebody took me, like gave me money to go to the store, I came back with exact change. Like, here you go, you had 51 cents.
Just shook. Don't drop no penny.
Don't
Yes,
drop nothing.
I'm not gonna spoil it, y'all, but if y'all, let me tell you, Taylor Poe is a book for children, but it had me disturbed for a while. I still get disturbed when I think about it. Um, I don't know if I want to read that one to Trinity, but she likes horror stuff. She likes Halloween books. I know. I'm like, well, since you like this kind of stuff, it's
Gonna
never
wake
too
you
early
up
to
one night.
desensitize them. I know. Then she gonna be able to go to sleep as is. She already don't have go to sleep.
Oh Lord.
But that yes, it's one of my favorite childhood horror books because I was the I was never so disturbed by a book as I was with that one, and I had to have been in first or second grade reading it, probably younger than that, because it's a picture book. It's not even like a goosebump book
Wow.
either. It's a picture book. But please,
I got to,
Yeah.
somebody hook me up. Slide me that copy. I don't know, y'all childhood books are meant for children. My childhood book was daggone Stephen King. I don't know. My favorite book was Stephen King's Desperation. And I don't know if anybody's read that. It did turn into be a TV series movie, but it wasn't really big like all his other movies. It was probably about just as thick as this It book, y'all. If not thicker. And it was like this crazy deputy was kidnapping people who were coming through his town, but it turns out he's possessed by this spirit, like this ancient spirit that the town woke up when they was drilling in some mines or something. It's long, it's drawn out, but I was so into like, oh my God, who gonna die next? What's gonna happen? And like the way these folks was dying and the stuff that was happening in this book, like I was so enthralled in it as a kid. And I think
Stephen King will
that,
have you like psychologically like in a daze. Like
and then
you'll be thinking you crazy.
what? I was trying to figure out
Outlet.
what was really going on.
He said that was his outlet. Like as a kid, his mind was already running kind of like, you know, into some crazy dark places. So him
Right.
writing those books and different stories was his way of like kind of purging that.
I gotta
There
go
you
back
go.
and
Look at
read
him.
it
Oh,
again.
pulled it out.
Yep.
Show
It's
it
a
again.
children's
Show
book.
it again.
Uh,
Hold up. Be still now. You done got too scared. Be still.
There we go. See, it's a children's book, I promise you.
Daily
not the Taylor folk. No man.
Have you guys read any suspense mystery books? I think the last one I read was The Girl on a Train. I think that's the last suspense one I read, and that's actually a movie too.
Movie too, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've been
Because I
reading.
like psychological thrillers. That one had me like the twist in it. What like I said, you can watch the movie because it really kind of stuck to the book pretty well, I think, when I finally watched it. But it really was a twist in it. It was about like this lady who she was an alcoholic. She had after her divorce, she just started being, alcoholic, and something happened to her one night when she blacked out drunk, and she felt like she might have hurt somebody, and that's what her ex-husband wanted her to believe. It's really really deep psychological. It's like her story is like intertwined with like her husband's new wife and this family that she would like watch when she was like riding the train to work, and then one day she didn't see the girl anymore, and then the girl was like missing all in the news, and she's like, oh my gosh, did I kill her when I was drunk? And then when you figure out what the plot twist was, you'll be like, this is twisted. People are crazy. Please, when you
They're
get a
kind of like
chance, read or watch The Girl on the Train.
That reminds me of this series that I just binged the hell out of on Netflix. Um, Dead to Me. It's not. It's kind of horror, but it's more suspense comedy.
I
Um,
heard about that one. I heard about that.
yeah, y'all gotta check that one out. It's like a lady
Ooh,
loses her husband.
really?
What? A lady loses her husband, and it's this crazy twist to how she makes this new friend. I can't say a whole lot because give it all away, but what that girl on the train sounds kind of like that.
Like I love me a good psychological thriller. I love a good plot twist, especially when you try to piece together the story and then
And
the
be
plot
all
twist
wrong.
comes in and it like really messes you up. Which other movie was like that? Um, what was it? It was out recently. I want to say Ben Affleck was in it. Gone Girl.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Gone Girl was good.
Yeah.
I have to watch that.
Yeah, that was a psychological thriller that yeah, by the middle of the book because it's like when you first started reading it, I didn't know where it was going. I'm like, where is this going? Because somebody recommended that I read this book and I was just like, why am I reading this? This is slow. I don't know where it's going. And then when it finally got to where it was going, I was like, this is crazy.
Moral
That's
of
why I
the
like
story.
psychological thriller because you will really see what crazy people can be, and it will make you paranoid about people around you. You be like, people are
Oh yeah,
crazy.
you be like, man.
um, any sci-fi books? Let's see. I read the whole Hunger Games. What was it? 3 books, trilogy. I read
Um, the last thing I read was like Divergent. It's been a minute.
I read that. I read Divergent. I
Like
read
it's
Hunger
been a
Games.
minute
I
when
read
I've
The Maze Runner.
I watched
something
the Maze Runner.
sci-fi. The last thing I read that was like suspense though. It's a short story called The Analyst, and it is about a psychologist who had somebody from the past contact him and let him know like I'm not satisfied with the service that you gave my mother because she ended up killing herself, which destroyed my life and my siblings' life. So I'm gonna make your life hell.
Wow.
And he really drags him down and breaks him down to where the dude pretends that he's dead and get a whole new identity, even though the person
What?
behind the scenes still knows what he's doing and where he's at. So like I really like that.
That is craziness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would
Um,
want to read.
What was like an all-time favorite that you all had that maybe was a book that converted to a film or a show or something visual?
um, I I like what they did with the Hunger Games. Minus the first movie was not accurate to the books at all with Hunger Games. But by the second one, I think after the fans complained so much, they got it back on track. Cause yeah, they really didn't stick to it like they should have, and people who had never been exposed to the Hunger Games was like, "This is weird. I don't get it." And it's like because they left out so many of the details from the book, it was confusing. Um, but they got it back on track, and I did appreciate the Hunger Games. Um, The Shining.
Yes, that. Woo, boy, that was a good one. There was another one by Stephen King, and I hope I'm not mistaken. Desiree helped me out if you remember. It was called, I believe, Needful Things, and it was about this guy, which was really the devil. He would set up shop in these like small hick towns, and he
giving
would
people like their
have a
wildest
thrift.
dreams.
Yes, he would have a thrift shop, and it would be like their anything that they wanted that was like you said their wildest dreams. It could have been a steam engine little train that blew out smoke, or it could have been a baseball signed by their favorite player, just something that they always desired and wanted. And then he basically would steal their soul, or they would sell their soul and didn't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. That taught me like there's more to life than material things.
Well, after that.
Right. My favorite is also a Stephen King, but it is one of the lesser talked about ones. It's Thinner. I love
Oh,
Thinner,
I love Thinner.
but I'm gonna tell you why I love
Yes.
Thinner so much. Again, the maniacal craziness in me was laughing at this man the entire movie. Every time he tried on some new clothes,
And
every
it's
time he
false.
stepped on the scale, every time something fell off of him, I was dying laughing. And it was true to book too. It was true to book. That's my favorite.
I love Thinner. I'm telling you, during AMC Fear Fest, I watch it every time because it's so weird because it makes you like really think about how people treat other people and being careful what you wish for
Mm-hmm.
and karma
Wish
and,
treat.
and, and all of that. Like it just really kind of went full circle for him. But yes, I watch Thinner probably every year when it comes on.
I love Thinner.
For those of you who are into sci-fi books or like supernatural type stories, The Fifth Wall, we have a series out on Amazon, the Two Lost Saga. The first two books, Two Lost and Two Lost Renaissance, are available now. The third book will be available soon. It'll be available before the summer is over with. Let me see. There we go. Look for those on Amazon. Two Lost and Two Lost Renaissance. And Two Lost Resistance is coming soon. Basically, the story is about, and they're digital comic books. So yes, you can download them to your Kindle app on your smartphone, any tablets, iPads, all of that. Quick download. Basically the story is about this kid who is finding himself after one day everything starts as normal and his adopted parents are murdered right in front of him, even though he was pretty much the target. And after that, he has to find his biological family because he has no one else. And also, he figures out in the meantime that he has some hidden abilities that he hasn't unlocked as of yet. And there's, shapeshifters involved, martial arts involved, witches are involved. So yes, it's a journey. It's gonna consist of 4 stories. Like I said, the 2 are available now. The third one is coming soon. So go ahead and catch up on Two Lost and Two Lost Renaissance now before Two Lost Resistance comes out, because that one will be out really, really soon. I promise you, follow our pages so that you can stay in the loop about when the next book is coming out. You can find videos and promos about the books that are already out. If you're interested in like comic books or suspense and sci-fi and all that good stuff, Two Lost has all of that wrapped up into 4 different stories. So you might want to catch up before the third one comes out.
Yeah, we also having the book launch going on in August, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Kayla?
Mm-hmm.
So also look out for that. There'll be dates and times for when that will be going on as well.
Yes, we're gonna do
So
it big. So when the third part comes out, we're gonna party. Because
Yeah.
this one has been long waiting, so we're gonna celebrate. So like I said, catch up.
I
They're
just
on
want
Amazon, Two Lost and Two Lost Renaissance, because we will be doing a book launch really soon. Um, but this weekend we have a party with the score. You know how we do. Probably the last few months we've been throwing events with the score. You guys, please go check this party out. One of our favorite artists, Rogue, just had an album out. Please go check her out. Check
to
out her
support.
music. You guys are gonna love this album. I promise you. Please go listen to Rogue's album on
oh
Spotify.
yeah.
YouTube her. And I
Rose
don't listen to a
Davenport.
lot of female artists. So when I like tell you that her music is good, listen to me. You will love her music. And she's gonna be at the event Saturday? Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yep. Desiree, what's the address for the event again?
Artisan Bar. One moment, please. Look, she caught me off guard, y'all. I wasn't there. I wasn't. 140 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia. Artisan Bar. Come out and catch us. Party starts at 10 o'clock. Come see some live artists. Check out some of the vendors. Last month we had dope chef there. We had some good artists there. Live performances was killing. Road performed. She's killing. So come check us out. I am normally there. I'm working like Hebrew slave these days, but I may be there tomorrow as well. Check my Facebook. I'll let you know.
Okay. And I am trying to be there for the book launch in August. So
Yes.
I'm excited. Been waiting to be able to attend. So we all need to look out for those.
Please come and support our events with the score and watch some good live music. Follow out all of our social media pages. The Fifth Wall on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The Fifth Column on Facebook and Instagram. Temper Drinks, Facebook, Instagram. Look out for our new Facebook group. If you're following the Fifth Wall already, join our group, Horror and Hooch. Yes, please join our group. We will be posting our horror recommendations, movies and shows or books that we like, that we watch, that we feel like you guys would enjoy too. Follow our page so you can get those, because if you're like me, you always want to know what's the next good horror thing to watch or to read. Come to our page. There is a review up now for this show called Nosferatu, which is actually a book. If you
and my favorite vampire ever. Okay.
Yes. It's a book.
Y'all gotta check out the old movie, black and white, before Dracula.
Yes. See, you know. So yes, there's a review up for that. So go ahead and follow Horror and Hooch group. Join the group on Facebook so you can get our horror recommendations on there. Next topic will be a show all about horror recommendations. So we are going to try to binge as much as we can so that we can give you guys as much recommendations and reviews as we can to kind of fill your summer up with horror. So we're going to be looking at stuff from Netflix, probably Amazon Prime, Hulu, to give you guys an update on the next upcoming horror stuff, the movies that are out that are good, because I've heard about some that I need to be watching, so I can let you guys know if they're good.
I will also tell you what's whack, because I get upset when stuff is whack.
Probably wasting my time. I'm sitting here thinking you about to tear some stuff up, and it ends crazy.
So yeah, we're gonna do a whole show about what to watch this summer on streaming services. So we got your
any recommendations? Message us, DM us, find us.
Yes, if you guys would want us to watch something so that we can review it live, please let us know. Comment, message us on Facebook, post it in our group. Let us know so we can watch it, and we'll talk about it and discuss it live with all of you guys.
All right. Well, we will see you all soon. Please give us those comments, because I am waiting to watch something new. So
yes, please give us something to watch. Send us a message, comment, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks with our horror recommendations. Bye. Enjoy your drink. The Pennywise.
Don't even look scary. I hate clowns, y'all. Good night.